Hey friends, Bill here. How you doing? Hope you're having a good week. Another big weekend and gospel preaching at football games. So excited. We're going to go with that list one more time. I also want to share with you that if you're down in the New Orleans area, David Roberts is going to go to a fest in Houma, Louisiana. I'm going to see if I can't. I don't know if I can get that information on there. I'll tell you what I'll do is let me see. It's called the Rogue Fest, something like that. Let me take a quick look. I pull it up here. Let's see what's up here. Hang on one second. I don't see it. I'll try to figure it out and post it back. But hey, football this weekend. I also want to share that I had some thoughts over this last couple of days. I was thinking, I don't know how these things work. I guess the Lord sort of continues to and there's a sanctifying work here to some degree. But anyway, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes it seems like the Christian community is always sort of in a retreat mode and talking about how do we retreat. I think we've retreated enough. That's what I really want to say. I think we've retreated enough. I think, honestly, that because of the nature of our faith, we are easy to take advantage of in some ways because we are trying to be accommodating to people and be good examples and, these kind of things, lay down our life for people and so forth and so on. And so, I think we are easy to be taken advantage of. And, but I think we've retreated enough. I think it's time to pressing forward, going back out and, taking the land, so to speak. I think it's time to go out and press forward, not just preaching, but preaching with the intent to just continue to preach across the country and not only saturate the nation with the gospel, but be fully engaged in the Great Commission, church planting, preaching, discipling, the whole bit. I think we ought to resolve in our hearts, friends, to, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're not just only trying to preach so that sinners are saved and reconciled to God, but that we also want to go out and preach to the point of planting churches and discipling people and doing what the Great Commission is all about. I think we need to have a heart for that. And that's it. That's what I want to say. I think we're retreated enough. We need to go forward and do the great work of the Great Commission and pray the Lord will work through us to do that kind of work in the Great Commission. And we'll see churches planted and sinners redeemed and everything. I think that's where we're at. And that's what I want to encourage you to do today, to think that way if you don't. And let's press forward, man. Not just press forward. That's it. Let's press forward. Let's press forward. Praying 1 Timothy 2:1-7 for the civil magistrate that we can lead quiet, peaceful lives, but also for the sake of the gospel, you got to read the whole series of verses there. 1 Timothy 2:1-7, praying the kingdom of Christ expands and grows, praying that God is glorified in the land and not just in sort of a negative way, but in a positive way that Christ is preached. And that's it, man. Really, I think, one thing I've noticed really since August, the summer, is, I was talking with a friend this morning about Father, forgive them for they know not what they do. There is the element that on one hand, sinners think they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing eternally. They're still blind and deaf. Now they understand there's a God and so forth. What I'm trying to say here is lead. We get out, we start preaching, we start planning, we start discipling, we lead the situation. We don't react to the pagan world. We lead into the pagan world. We go into the pagan world, the heathens, and preach the gospel. And they need the gospel. We need to be faithful, show our God is faithful by going out and preaching the gospel and being faithful amongst the pagans, amongst the heathens. See, that's what I'm getting at. And when we retreat and shrink back, we're not being faithful to them. We are what they need, not only eternally, but they need us out there. They need us out there in their midst. Despite their reaction, they need us out there. And part of the reason they respond like they do is they've been raised without any light. And so this is all they are. And how can the gathering demoniac be saved unless the light shows up, right? We see that he was in the graveyard until Jesus got off the boat. Until we get there, they're going to be dark. It's going to be dark. And I think we need to really embrace this reality. And and press forward in preaching, teaching, discipling the nation. Yep. I'll talk more about it, Lord willing, but I think we've just come far enough to where we have a generation of people that don't remember the good old days, and where everybody's kind of a Christian, at least in culture. They don't remember that anymore. And we need to go out, press forward, because they need us to. The darkness, the pagan needs us to be there preaching the gospel. Hey, big games this weekend. So we got. Starts off Alexander Greenlee at noon at the Maryland game, not Maryland, at the Naval Academy game in Annapolis, Maryland. And then James Cartwright at 4 p.m. at the University of Louisville game in Louisville. Philip Grandine and Reverend Luth at the Hamilton Tiger Cats game in Hamilton, Canada. And then Larry Sullivan at the big game of the week, I guess, is Alabama host Tennessee. And then Sunday, 2 games. Heath Pucil and the Green Bay Crew is at the Packer game at noon, and John Coble at noon in Nashville. Good games, good spots around the country. You can click on the link on this video and come to the place to be able to contact these guys as well. So listen, find a game and go preach at it. If you have a stadium arena around where you're at and you want to go preach there, but it's not on the list, then call me. Call me is the best. 423-724-7500, 423-724-7500. Calling is the best. And 30 minutes, we can talk about you being out there. You'll be preaching there this weekend. And what I just say, hey, the people need you to be there. These fans, they need you out there. These football fans and these NBA, NHL's kicking off too. They need you out there. And don't say they don't need you or they're whatever. You got to go. If there's a stadium by you, hey, man, you're watching this is Sports Fan Outreach, then let's go get them. Let's go get after it. So call me, 423-724-7500, and you'll be out there preaching this weekend. Listen, life is but a vapor. Don't waste it. Great Commission. Let's go take the gospel into the darkness.